I don't want to live with you all.
Oh, you don't?
No.
But what about the kitties, Dennis?
My home is awesome. Like, you love my home. It's adorable and cozy.
No, I just want to, like, be alone.
You can be alone.
Yeah, that's totally valid.
No, like an entire apartment.
Look, I know this is what I'm saying though. Is like what I. So look, the ideal living, like we all agree,
we need an Animal Crossing island. Is what
the
we
ideal
need.
living situation is to buy an apartment building, and you know everyone who lives in it, and you all have your own apartment, but you can just like leave the doors open.
You know what sucks is I was going to inherit an apartment complex.
Really?
Yes, but my grandfather was in so much debt because his daughters just kept relying on him for money, and he basically never really collected rent at the apartment.
This is the shitty. This is the shitty half of the family. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So he was in like about $100,000 in debt because he just kept taking out credit cards to help his daughters.
Yikes.
Jesus.
And we had no idea.
Wow.
No one knew. And so we had to sell the house, their ranch, and their apartment complex.
God damn.
So I was
rough.
going to get the apartment complex. I was going to be a landlord.
You were going to get to be like a bougie SOB.
Mm-hmm. Oh, on the house that I was going to get had a pool.
What the fuck?
You would be so much meaner.
Oh my god, you would
yeah.
be such a worse person.
No, I would still I was very much a lefty when he had died at that point.
Good. You'd still be meaner, just not a worse person.
Yeah. Oh, I'm already very mean.
I mean, yeah, but like, no. If your material conditions change, your ideology changes with it, unless you are very dedicated.
It tends to do so. Yeah.
No, I don't think I would have. Really,
you don't see yourself like making a few compromises, given that your entire existence is based on the ongoing like churn of capital.
I don't know about then, but I would have kicked my aunts out who were living in the apartment complexes. They are terrible people.
So the first thing you would have done is be a landlord?
Kick out family.
Evict people?
Evict.
Oh, no, it's because they hated me. So.
Oh, well, fuck
they
them,
still,
yeah.
They still hate me. So it's like, why are you all even here?
No, just let them live in a fucking apartment. It's not like you're gonna be there.
No, but I would have lived there.
They'll be on the bottom floor. You'll be on the top floor. You'll never see them.
Oh, that's the key, you know? Like, just have big gay parties all the time.
Also, for sure, that apartment complex has been torn down because there was a lot of, like, under the table, definitely not up to code construction happening inside.
That's always fun.
Okay,
so probably actually better if I kicked them out just for safety reasons.
Listen to you, you're
safety,
already just imagining.
I don't know,
yeah,
sounds
these are
authoritarian.
already imagining new material conditions and compromising your ideology by saying like, no, I'd be doing my family a favor by evicting them.
No, here's the thing.
Landlord.
The apartment that was upstairs, because I did live in that apartment for a very brief time, always smelled like gas.
What? And you're going to kick them out and they're going to go live somewhere else with the same approximate conditions because that's what they can do?
Yes, because they had the money to do it. They just didn't want to pay my grandpa.
But
that's why they're shitty.
Well, they should. No, that's base.
Sleazy.
They shouldn't have paid your grandpa.
They agreed to.
They shouldn't pay rent. I don't care if you agreed. Like, if you're agreeing between like your roommates, you gotta hold up the deal.
My grandpa was retired. He had no money. Like, he really didn't have any money. Like, he had to go into $100,000
shit what a landlord's problems are.
But he's not, like, he wasn't really their landlord. He was their dad. Like, that's just the thing, is they really did take advantage of my grandfather's, like, kindness.
I mean, fair enough. It's a family thing. It's a different dynamic.
It's much different. Like,
all I'm saying is fuck landlords. Don't be one.
I'm not paying your fucking granddad a cent. I'm sorry. I like you, but I'm not paying your
I wouldn't pay your granddad anything
cent.
either.
And I'm drinking all the free coffee in the least.
It's every morning.
No, the apartment complex was not like how you think it is. It was three little buildings.
Yeah. Okay.
Not even 3 little buildings. Yeah. 3 little rooms.
This is much smaller than I thought. You mean a house that's been subdivided?
Yeah, like the bottom floor.
Like, it's a duplex where someone split one in half.
Yeah, actually, pretty much.
That's British awesome. To just like take a duplex and they just put a wall in through one of them to make it a triplex.
Yeah, that was more or less it. Which again,
that was my last place. Was like a single family split in half, so it was a fucking duplex.
Yeah, which
it sucked.
Which again, kind of putting into question the whole like, should should they have even been living there? I don't know if the wiring was necessarily.
Well, see, no
up to
wonder it
code.
smelled like gas and it had weird electrical problems. There's probably just an open gas line. The walls are filled with gas, and it's just sort of being forced into the gas pipe to the stove, with the only open vent out of there.
Yeah, which is fine.
You never had rats or cockroaches, though.
Yeah, there you go. And, I mean, really, even smaller dogs probably would be a good idea.
Psychic Dolphin Garage.
Well,
All right,
Well,
Charlie, tell us about this. Because you, all I saw was that you were having a lot of fun on Twitter last night.
oh my god.
I didn't indulge.
we love. All right, so number one thing, if this is your first episode, welcome to Psychic Dolphin Garage.
Hello.
One thing you need to know about this, I don't know what I was going to call it, the website, this podcast.
We do have a website.
Is we like to have fun on the online.
Yeah.
That's above and beyond everything else, what we like to do here.
This was weird for me. I literally sat there for like 5 minutes deciding if I should even have this fun online, because I'm like, oh, this is gonna be so tiring. And it was.
Yeah, you
but
got to be careful with having fun online.
I
It's fucked up sometimes.
Sometimes I just want to play a video game by myself and not have fun online, because having fun online is very, very training, no matter how much
Yeah.
fun you're having.
This podcast is super not into having fun online.
No, this podcast is having fun online. We're using the internet to have fun. We're recording it. I have to take a day off after I record this. I literally moved the release day a day out so I could have a day in between editing it and recording it, because it makes me so tired. Just being
God, I hate the internet.
I do. It's terrible. I was having a lot of fun on the internet last night.
Thank you, Bo Burnham, for inventing the alphabet internet.
Am I making you all Ted Kaczynskis for the internet?
Oh,
Yeah.
I have been a Luddite
Good.
my whole life. Like, I'm always like 10 years behind technology and thinking like, this could be simpler and not so terrible. Except for like computers to do whatever work I'm currently doing right now. Like, that's relatively up to date. But
Yeah,
That's
the
it.
only technology that should function is the technology that I'm using right now.
yeah. Basically. And honestly,
Everything else is used by scoundrels for ill deeds.
Look, I can't tell you how much I would rather just go to a studio with y'all and we live in the same place and just record there. That'd be much fucking
Well,
better.
Charlie, I would love that as well, but like,
Look, I'm just saying.
you know, you all don't want to move to California.
I can't.
No, I
All my
don't.
shit's
I-
here.
None of us can afford that.
Well, you know,
Maybe one day. Maybe when I'm making those big union bucks.
No, we should all just move somewhere cheaper.
Nebraska.
ew.
You know what they say? Nebraska's for podcasters.
Yeah, because this big bunch of queers would totally do well in Nebraska or somewhere really cheap.
I always get
Omaha's neat. It's fine.
there are a
Yeah.
bunch of billboards here in Austin for moving to Ohio.
Oh no.
I know, it's pretty. I would not wish moving to Ohio on my worst enemy.
No, when I went to Nebraska, I've been to Nebraska twice in recent memory, and not the previous time, the one before that, I went to the university there, and they had gigantic archives in the basement of microfiche and papers and stuff, and they had like the gay archives there, where they had like all of Omaha's gay scenes. Like all the zines, all the magazines, all the stuff from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and further back if they found it.
Whoa.
Like, all of it was just archived, and I was just
Oh, that's
picking
great.
through it. No, it was super cool. I think they have it all digitized on their website now if you want to check it out, but there's so much cool shit there. And you can't touch a lot of it, but you can, like, look at some of it remotely and, like, see some of it. And also, they have gigantic archives of just, like, all the newspapers there. So I just sat and, like, read, like, Union newspapers from, like, the fucking 1910s. It's rocks.
Yeah, but this points out like how academia was like the great place for like leftism and queers, whereas like the actual conditions outside of academia were not great for them in America.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm not... Again, I'm not suggesting that, like, you're going to just go live in the basement of the University of Omaha.
But I could.
Although,
just saying,
what's
like-
the rent like?
But, there would not be rent. You would arm yourself and defend against...
No, I just enroll in
In the
school.
basement bunker.
I would just
Yeah.
enroll in school and just be like, oh, I fell asleep here.
Every night you fell asleep here.
You and your archivist army saying, we are archiving ourselves for future generations to learn from.
Yeah. Just reminds me how the new book from Bad Gays is about like the failure of like the white homosexual identity and how that's just like really been
That's a great topic.
Yeah, and how
I
it's-
fucking hate Modern Family.
well how it's been detrimental to like queers just in general. White gays.
I hate Modern Family, and I hate the entire profession of real estate. And I hate Dallas, Texas.
Speaking of the failure of modern, what did you say? Speaking of the failure of the modern homosexual identity, I'd like to tell you about having fun on Twitter last night. Clowning on a modern homosexual.
Yeah?
Yeah, you're gonna love this guy. So...
Is he white?
Oh, yes.
Mega white. Okay, yeah.
Like is like completely bald too, so there's extra white.
Oh, he's one of those guys.
That wouldn't normally be there.
Oh, he's one of those guys.
yeah, hot dog necked, upper middle class gay.
Yeah.
Gotta love him.
Gotta love him.
Yeah, you'll see some things. So last night, and I cannot remember, and unfortunately I don't have before me the original person. So someone...
Twitter user AshaariML. See link in the podcast description.
Found a Twitter space being hosted by Kansas Senate hopeful Mike Suter, and it had like 4 people in it. And then so they and Issa at N Sanctions on Twitter, and Dino at Dino4K, I believe, all got together and just told every tanky follower they have, let's go fucking ask this guy some hard questions and troll the shit out of him.
Time for some targeted harassment.
Time for some targeted harassment. And we all piled in there, and we boosted that guy's numbers from like 4 people listening to like 300.
Oh my god.
It was incredible. Like 300 people, all fucking like extreme tankies or adjacent, in there asking him incredibly hard foreign policy questions. And the best part of it is, like, this guy is weird. Mike Suter's fucking weird. Because, like, how do I say this? Over the course of the evening, Issa and Dino went from being, like, people who brought people in to Mike was just, like, stoked at how many people they were bringing in and made them co-hosts of the space.
Oh, no.
Thoroughly beaten.
Yeah, just absolutely like, whoa, we're doing a thing. This is so good. We're doing it together. We're learning stuff. Could not answer a question. This man only speaks in like some sort of like fucking elvish intersectional.
Elvish intersectional. Fuck yeah.
It's impossible to understand his answers, and he's frequently completely dodging the question, but he's not practiced at spin. I've got a bunch of audio clips that I'll put in. Someone did manage to record all 5 hours of it.
What the fuck? Why did he leave it on so
5 hours?
No. This went from, it started at like so we noticed it at like 7 o'clock our time. I think it had started around like 6 o'clock, and we were up till fucking midnight. And it went until what someone else said was 4 a.m. So I think that's like 2 or 3 minimum in Kansas, like Mayan Kansas time. So like it was like still 3 hours. And like it kept going down. It was actually really funny because like we kind of got Mike to be like, maybe there is some deep state finagling, because every time we started to talk about like the base DPRK or like, you know, the incredibly malicious response of the US media to China or like the Communist Party of the Philippines, like the fucking space would just shut down. It would just literally crash after that. And that could be coincidence, but it was fucking every time. It was fucking weird. And so Mike just kept restarting the space and making Issa and Dino co-hosts again.
Wow.
And it fucking rocked. And we just kept going. Every time it would crash, Mike would wind up disconnected. And so basically, as soon as like, because if you ever seen a Twitter space crash, like the host of the space, it just looks like they're continuously talking. And as soon as we could not hear Mike anymore and started continuously talking, everyone would immediately go mask off, mics would open up, and people would just start yelling tanky shit into the space. And then Mike would come back, not really understand what we were saying, and be like, hey, I'm back. And then immediately mask goes right back on, and everyone's like, hey, Mike, you're back.
Hey, regular guy, regular Mike.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And then this morning, Mike had another space going again, because as someone pointed out on Twitter, you give a man too much clout too fast and it goes to his head. And like by this point, apparently I had to dip out by midnight because I was so tired.
Yeah.
It was just Jack and me on the couch listening for like 4 or 5 hours. Easy.
That's awesome.
This guy is his voice is grating. He has the voice of all of the upper middle class, like, gay landlords that are around me that I despise.
Awesome.
I hate them.
That's always good.
And yeah, I'll bring you on an approximate journey with these folks, but I just want you to know, Mike went from based as fuck, we're tweeting Comrade Mike content to I go to bed. Within a few hours, the mask has been fully peeled off, which has been slowly being peeled off all night, and Mike is pissed that he's been clowned on all night. And then this morning,
Suddenly,
he starts up a space for coffee with Mike, which means that, like, I don't think he slept more than like 4 hours. Like, I don't know what this guy's on.
Good.
But he is not getting enough sleep.
Crack.
And he is just
It's like Michael Lindell,
just shitting on Issa this morning, being like, well, I don't know how her name's pronounced. It's Mike was constantly switching between Issa, and Isa, and everyone was just kind of going along with whichever one he was currently doing. So I don't actually know how her name's pronounced,
including Issa.
Yeah, I mean, Issa didn't say her own name much, so. Anyway, yeah, and then at some point, like toward the end of last night, around when I stopped, Dan Whitfield, another Senate candidate from I don't fucking know where, jumped in and was part of it. And at this point, Mike is pissed. And by this morning, Dan and Mike are back in a space. Mike is being a piece of shit about Issa having clowned on him all night. And he's so frustrated. And Dan is actually kind of grooving along. And by this afternoon, they had been doing like another like 7-hour struggle session with fucking Dan Whitfield, Senate candidate, and gotten him to the point where he's like, wow, I guess if like that's what communism is, I am kind of communist then. Yeah.
Wow.
Like, he was really fucking grooving with it.
Wow.
Yeah, no, he had a huge development. He was really getting it. They were reading Stalin to him, of all things. And he was kind of like, oh, some of this makes sense.
Based.
It was based. And then he started to fall apart, and he had a bunch of bad takes about like drug policy and drugs. And then everyone on Twitter had to start calling him DEA Dan because he had some very bad takes that aligned with U.S. imperial policy.
And all of this happened over the course of an evening and a following morning.
Yes.
What the fuck?
Yeah, no, I tweeted about this, but my day yesterday was I woke up, I listened until it got cut off to the live stream of an active hostage situation. I played Stardew Valley. I recorded a podcast with Dennis with Cal Fire, and then we trolled a Senate candidate and did a struggle session with another. And this morning I just could not dip back in because that was too much for me. I'm so tired.
Fucking balls to the wall bonkers. Oh my goodness.
So good. It was so good. I want to play you some clips of this guy. Now I'm gonna first give you the high point. So here's your first one, which I'll put in.
Neat.
We're in bed, lock, stock, and barrel with Israel, but they're really kind of not behaving. So I'm not sure what we should we just like straight up bitch slap them?
Well, like,
should we just straight up bitch slap them?
Yeah,
we should.
That rules.
Someone asked a pretty slam dunk foreign policy question, which is like, what do you think about
bitch slapping Israel?
The ongoing colonization of Palestine. He's like, I really think we might need to bitch slap Israel.
Wow,
and that was a really
way
good
to phrase
moment.
that. That's awesome.
Yeah,
I mean, do we need to bitch slap Israel? Probably.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, like I think that's the least we can do.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So that was immediately followed up with will you say free Palestine?
Yeah.
To which he answered this.
With your answer there, can I get a free Palestine from you?
Okay, so Issa, I'm going to speak for both of us if you don't mind for a second.
Go ahead.
And Devos, if you want to shun us out of embarrassment, feel free. If there are any bitches in the room that need to be slapped, raise your hand. Issa and I are all about it.
Mm-hmm. Raise your hand.
Everyone raises their hand, by the way.
Nice.
Are you backing us up, Dino? Are you backing us up?
I'm with you all the way, Mike. I'm with you. I'm on the mic train.
Okay, so let me do this formally. Let me do this formally. Dear friends and colleagues, if you know that you are a bitch and you can own it, Issa and I assume that Dino's with us, we're more than happy to give you the bitch slap that you've earned. Just raise your hand and we'll provide.
Yes! The bitch slap that you've earned. What a way to phrase that.
Okay, no, he's on speed. He's on speed.
He's on something.
Well, okay, no,
he's
on
going,
and
he's having the time of his fucking life.
Okay, if I know
Yes.
anything about rule gays, and I know a thing or two,
Okay.
they like fucking on meth, on Tina.
Partying.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no, he's on Tina.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned fucking on Tina, because I have this next clip, which really is sort of the core storyline of the experience.
I'm so
in which
excited.
Mike is so horny for Issa the entire time. Mike, as someone put it at some point, Mike is really into trannies and will not say it out loud.
That's pleasant.
It's very unpleasant. Mike's got real chaser energy. It's gonna go downhill pretty quick.
Love that for him. Love that for Mike.
So here, let's listen to this one.
No, it's
Very-
fine. It's fine.
It's getting very excited at the Cuban action between.
Well, you can call me Fidel Castro. It's get Cuban if you want.
Well, I'm going to
well-
call you Issa if you don't mind.
I don't mind at all.
You know, Issa. I want that headdress. You know it.
What the fuck?
Well, I mean, you could come and get it. Like, I have.
Okay, okay. We do have everybody on mute, right? You know what?
Yeah.
I really do
What
think
the
that
fuck?
we must force Dino to watch me come and get it.
I'm so glad that our podcast is gonna be the end of this Democrats.
Dino, you can hold the camera and.
What
you
is
can-
going on here?
I'm running for United States Senate. We can't do cameras. He can watch, and if he
Well, I
wants to.
mean,
If he wants to,
If you
tell
post this,
people
you're
on
destroying
the-
his
you know,
political
you know
career,
how
and I'm
Dino
fine with
is, he's
that.
low down.
you
So
know me.
you know, I love it. Dino's just playing along. He's like playing the straight man, and it's like, but Issa, we're gonna go Cuban, and everybody can watch.
What?
Exactly.
And I'm going to be the Soviet Union and place missiles.
I'm. Oh my god.
Is this a Bill Clinton thing?
I don't know what to say. Okay, so seriously, back to.
I cannot stress. Are y'all done?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's wrapped up now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I cannot stress enough how fucking hilarious the. Okay, 'cause there's two things going on here.
Mhm.
I gotta just lay it out, which is. You heard Mike say to Issa, we're gonna do it Cuban style, or we're gonna go Cuban together, and at no point does anyone know what that means. Dennis, do you know what that means?
I have no idea.
The only thing people found was a number of Urban Dictionary definitions that talk about scat.
Yeah, like the dirty Cuban, I'm assuming.
Yeah, that's all we got. I don't know. I don't know if. See, I'm thinking that because, like, we talked about Cuba and we were, like, at the beginning of that clip, you heard maybe Mike sort of saying, we're gonna do Cuban, whatever, because they were talking about Cuba stuff, and then just kept that bit going for the next, like, several hours. But he is so horny for Issa. And she's just, oh, God, fucking saint playing along with this.
Yeah.
And I cannot stress enough the hilarious part at the end, which is the funniest thing I heard all night, which literally caused my partner Kennedy to wake up, go to the bedroom and door and close it.
I'm so
Jack
excited.
and I were laughing so loud accidentally. It's just that part at the end where Mike's like, we're gonna go Cuban on each other, and I think it was Dino says, well, I'm gonna be the Soviet Union, put missiles in you.
God.
Yeah. Oh God, there was, because Mike kept referring to Isadino and Mike as like they were gonna do a 3-way thing, and they were gonna do a bunch of consistent 3-way stuff, and it's gonna be great. And also like Mike, I wish I had more clips of this. I just put a call out to people, but like an hour before the podcast, and said, "Does anyone have video of
any
this?"
relics from this amazing fucking evening?"
But so there's a bunch of parts in which Mike crafts this incredible universe in which Mike is gonna go get it Cuban style,
of course,
gonna get Cuban with Issa, and Dino's gonna watch.
Yes.
And at the very end of this thing, like before it falls apart and I go to bed and then they start it up, they're all just laughing hysterically about, like, Mike made you the cuck. Mike wants you to be the cuck, Dino. Dino's just like, yeah, what the fuck?
No,
Like-
you just get to watch. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
yeah.
fucking great. This is art.
Yeah. So those are the clips. Here's just a good sample of Mike by this morning.
Mm-hmm.
I do have a question though, as a resident from Kansas City.
By the way, everyone just said they're a resident of Kansas, and he's just going with it.
Why haven't you taken a stance against any of the Kansas leaders that are comparing the Holocaust to COVID-19? And, you know, why are you also calling your the people here that are trying to participate and boost your status as a politician bitches and motherfuckers? I just don't think that's really truly appropriate. And, you know, in order to be progressive, which I'm
This person
truly
might
down
be sincere.
for, you know, it's a part of my belief system. I just don't believe that, you know, attacking
I think they are.
What happened there, Mike?
I think they're being sincere, and I believe Mike cut them off.
Yoo-hoo.
What happened there, Mike?
Yeah.
What happened there, Mike?
See,
Yeah.
Oh
So-
no!
I don't have context for this one because
What happened there, Mike? It's lost to time intentionally, I think.
I don't have context for a lot of these, but this is
Especially
where
contextless.
this next one is kind of the next few I'm gonna play real quick are just where Mike is at by mid-morning.
Mm-hmm.
So here's one.
I could buy and sell all of you motherfuckers 100 times 100 years ago. Fuck off.
That sounds great out of context.
Okay. Oh, he's on meth. He's on.
Yeah.
No, he's.
Doesn't it seem like it?
No, he's on meth. Oh no.
Yeah.
He-
I don't
this
have
is-
any experience
this is
with people
several,
on meth.
Oh, I only just from people hitting me up on Grindr. This is several. Oh, and also a story that I have to tell off pod because I can't do it because I was told I couldn't. But
Okay.
But no, this is my experience with people who are on meth. Like he's been up for hours. I doubt he even slept.
I don't know if he slept.
And it is
unclear.
just stream of consciousness, like.
Yes.
But like the stream isn't working, so it's just like motherfuck, bitch, fuck. Like that's all. That's all it is. That's all people on meth are.
We've all been there.
Because you said that, please listen to this one and tell me if it's meth.
I'm going to give you a platform. I went out and took $1,760 of my own money. I've put my time, my talent, my treasure into this.
Treasure.
If you think you can do better, then move your cheesy ass to Kansas, Arkansas, Indiana, any state where any one of these 34 states are having a senatorial race. You put your ass on the ballot. You see what you come up against.
No, he's on meth.
So, and by the way, we're going to let that shit stay up there because guess what? Every single one of these memes, guess what it does? It's free advertising for me. Thank you. You guys don't know it, but you just gave me about $10,000 worth of advertising. Back to whoever the fuck wants to speak.
Damn. Well, that sounds like fun on the internet, if ever I heard it.
Is this a meth breakdown?
Yeah. Oh, it's
No,
gotta be.
yes. He.
Okay.
I gotta play this for my buddy Puddles.
Yeah, he's partying. He is partying with Tina.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. Then I'm just gonna play you these last couple here, key ones I think in terms of like where he got to this morning.
I'm so excited.
Because we have reached the piss play era.
The piss play era, iconic.
So I want to give some context.
please
At this
do.
point, it is morning. He has been betrayed. Everyone is now posting about how Comrade Mike has fallen. Long live Dan thought, and gone over to a new space in which I believe this is before they've moved over to the new space. But soon thereafter, everyone moves over to the Dan space to actually do the struggle session with Dan until Dan thought falls apart. This is where Mike is at this morning. Just pissed at being betrayed on the internet.
Pissed at piss.
Yeah.
It's really easy. I just take my zipper, zip it down, the communists lay down, and I just piss away. Just like you're hosing a garden.
That man did not get a wink of sleep.
Nope.
Not a second.
wink.
No, and this is probably like day 2. Honestly,
yeah.
This is maybe
Yeah.
day 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Should we listen to the piss and heels .flack that you just sent us?
please do.
Also, before we hit this clip, Zach in the chat just fucking. These are getting worse and worse. Oh, they're probably lost. They're lost at fucking sea.
Who
Wait,
Zach?
Zach?
In the general that
Zach.
we're dropping these files in.
I see it, yes.
All right,
It's like when we
I'm
post-
starting.
Yeah, it's like when we post sex stuff in here, and then Artemis is like, "No, please."
All right, are y'all ready to start the piss and heels
Yeah.
clip? All right,
Yes, go.
Korea, they call themselves a people's party. So, Mike, I think, are you communist or capitalist? Because, Mike, I'm so confused because they are racist to me. They call me male monkey. They call me ice chimp. They call me vanilla gorilla. They call me bleach demon. They call me snow wrap. They call me colonizer, unwhipped cream and cheese, and garlic goblin. And I don't know what.
Okay, so let me put this in, taught by my Flemish family.
Flemish.
I don't give a fucking rat's ass about that bitch and her homies and home bitches and bros
Isa.
and bras and hoes and whatever it is. I don't give.
Slay them, queen. Period.
Okay, here's the deal. I could care less. She can piss in her fake, cheap ass high heels all she wants, all over the Oscar red carpet that I rolled out for her yesterday. And, as far as I'm concerned, all of these bitches and mofos, they're giving me free advertising. So they can just go to town on it.
How do I know he's a country gay? Because he could not name a single designer.
A designer, yeah.
Like Manolo, come on.
Yeah.
Louboutin.
Yeah, say, and pissing in her red bottoms, Yeah.
At this point, he's furious because he's like, see, this is the thing is, Issa's fucking hilarious on this. Like, by the end of the night, even before I left, Issa's just literally... my favorite quote from the night is when she was like, I am the subbiest person on the fucking planet, but I fucking own you. You're fucking mine. These people, these are my people. This clout, that's mine. I gave it to you, and I can take it away. Some shit like that. It was so fucking good. And he's
that's
just
a fucking
sitting there.
Leonidas speech, is what that is.
Yeah, no, it was, and it was out of nowhere because Izza was just done.
Wow, that's fucking
And
bonkers.
It was bonkers, and this is Mike this morning. After I presume having not slept and gone like on some sort of like, I don't know, tooth grinding helmetless motorcycle ride in the dark on meth.
I mean, there's not a lot else to do out in Kansas or wherever he's from.
Wherever it is,
yeah.
I don't know.
Out in the
he
the
said
deep
at one
Midwest.
point. I thought it was Topeka area, but I'm not sure.
I was gonna say, which Kansas City are we talking
Lincoln? About? I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah.
It's somewhere in the 5-hour recording.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah.
The lore, the deep lore.
Here is the other clip, which kind of reiterates some of this. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Or do you have a pee kink?
Pee kink.
Ooh, wow. Spicy.
Like most gay men.
What do you think about that one, Mike? Also, by the way, B has returned and they want to be brought up as co-host.
The fuck? This is so
I
weird.
guess their Wi-Fi cut out again. Just by the way, Mike. I can't bring them up.
Yeah,
as
I'm
co-hosts.
basically working through that. But I finally figured out that it's the anti. That's actually Isa. And
What? Wow.
yeah.
I feel hurt because they were trying to save me from my landlord, but I guess not.
Well, there just comes a point in time when you just have to say, you know what?
I love these politicians' space fillers.
Enough is enough. And
Mike, but did you feel called out? Did you feel
What do
like
you
they
mean?
were trying to call you out?
it really
They
does.
said some spicy comments about you.
I think.
Allegations, if you will.
Can I tell you what I think?
What?
There are 242 people in this room. Dan Whitfield knows very well that that's a big number for me because I'm not like, the king of social media like he is. And it seems to me, actually, little Miss P in her high-heeled shoes is doing me a favor. So keep peeing away, bitch. Where is B? Because I can't find B.
Keep peeing away, bitch. Wow. What a poet, honestly. Like, are we listening to the fucking, 21st century Shakespeare? Is that what we're hearing right now?
What I feel like you're implying is that Shakespeare was on some form of like 14th century meth.
Absolutely, absolutely,
Yes,
was.
absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
The secret society of like homosexual Satanists that came up with Shakespeare.
Yeah,
we're on
yeah.
14th century meth.
Yeah, and like ritualistically,
we're going all over the time.
Just ritualistically poisoning themselves with ergot.
Yeah, and it was like
Yeah.
super sexy.
Yeah,
In
That
like
shit.
a Bloodborne kind of way.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
I have one last clip, which I was
Yeah.
given, and then that's all I got for clips, unless I get some more after the fact.
You are editing this, by the way. I refuse to touch
That's
this
fine.
material.
I want to edit this one.
Hey,
I
but
like it.
but would you piss on it from 10 feet away?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I can't. I don't think I can.
That's
I
hard.
can't. My prostate doesn't work that good.
Not a Big Bill Hell's customer, I see. Alas.
So yeah, here is the final one, which I think really sort of indicates where, unfortunately, Mike thought has fallen. Everyone is abandoned.
Never meet your heroes, kids.
Yeah, it's over. Chairman Mike has been successfully couped. Chairman Dan is now rising. In just a few more hours, Chairman Dan will be overthrown. The party has split. Around this time is when the party split, in which the one Twitter space of Mike and Dan became two separate spaces of about 45 to 50 people still in the Mikeist space, and about 250 to 300 people in the Danist space.
Of course.
And the party is unfortunately split, but let's listen to this. Ready?
Yeah.
Go.
Space just working through its issues. But anyway,
I think like when you have such a huge platform, like that's what happens.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
we've got a lot of, I mean,
here.
honestly, we've got close to 250 people in here right now. So it's easier for Dan because he has more experience with the senatorial race. But for me, the last couple of days with this Twitter stuff it's just been a shit fest, because you get the Chinese bots and the Russian trolls and the wannabe Chinese bots and wannabe Russian trolls, which I think Isa kind of fits into. What Isa didn't realize, or Isa didn't realize, is that Dan and I were actually paying attention, and Dan and I were both actually impressed. But she took her lotto ticket, pissed all over it in her fake high heel shoes. And you know what I need to say? I'm not going to give that bitch any more time. If people cannot...
Wait, Mike, stop being racist.
No. If you don't like what I have to say, get the fuck out. Okay?
Fuck out. He's like a little dog.
Dan, how do you feel about that?
I'm a person too. I'm not going to deal with the bullshit. And here's how it works. Okay? Here's how it works. If you can't behave correctly, I'm going to block and remove your ass.
Watch out. We got a badass here.
Yeah.
So Mike did figure out what trolls are, finally.
Yeah, I don't know if Mike really understands the concept of trolls or how they operate on the internet, but Mike did come to understand that he was trolled.
Trolls, actually, no, that was actually just really illuminating about the whole, like, Russian troll farm, like, because obviously, like, that's a thing, but, like, the hysteria around it, right? Is that trolls are just people online that you don't like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're people who...
To most, like, like, fucking, regular-ass, fucking normal-ass, not online people, that's what trolling is when people do things you don't like online.
Right, Mike got trolled. And I hadn't thought about this, but you're right. That's exactly what just happened there. Mike got trolled, and his conclusion was, there are official Chinese bots and official Russian trolls that are created by those states and operated to influence our elections, which we did get the big congressional dump of, and it was a bunch of memes that says things like, Bernie Sanders likes LGBT people, and it's like, yeah, I mean, that's true, more or less. So
damn,
like,
crazy how that works.
Yeah, they really influence the election, or it'll just be like a Latinos for Trump Facebook page that was started by someone in fucking Ukraine, and they're just like, that's it. But again, it's just, yeah, they're trying to ascribe giant systemic maliciousness to like the fact that America is so universally hated around the world that some people would just spend a few hours out of their day for a few months of the year just
trolling,
fucking up what individual Americans are doing on the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Like,
because it's fun and easy to do.
Yeah, that's what we were all doing last night, is we made him think he had a shitload of clout, and we're obviously trolling him. Like, it's only through his inexperience of the internet and anything else, like his 200 follower account that ballooned to like 300 or 400 through us, and then who knows? But like,
yeah, where is he now? Is he okay?
I don't know. Like, I assume he's just sleeping it off. I hope he didn't do more meth.
I guess we'll find out someday.
You know, I didn't think this was gonna go anywhere sort of like really like concrete or telling, but you know what, Bo, you made a really insightful point, which is that, yeah, this is probably how libs think. People disagree with them on the internet and support things that are sort of conventionally against American doctrine, and that must be the influence of other states indoctrinating us.
Obviously.
Or,
like, pretty obviously, you know?
Or we are being paid or want to be paid for by those states to promote them.
I mean, honestly, President Xi, if you're listening, I got laid off right before December by my fucking pig dog capitalist company I worked for, and you know, hey man, just I'm good, I'll get you, just kick me a couple bucks, thank you.
Wouldn't mind it.
Or also, BetterHelp, if you're listening, I'm desperate, okay?
Going to therapy because you're begging communist nations to pay you.
I'm only going to therapy because I get an employee discount. Or so a sponsor discount, I guess.
Okay. I see what you're doing. You want a sponsorship.
Yeah.
Imagine saying that to your therapist. Like, I love this.
Can I get sponsored for going to therapy?
The only, like, I'm really glad I'm here. I like you. This has been positive for me. But the only reason I'm here is because every time I do a BetterHelp ad read on the show, I get 2 free therapy sessions. So that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
And your therapist is kind of staring at you like,
normal.
Yeah.
Well, Charlie, you have 42 minutes of recording to find 3 minutes or so for a cold open.
No. This is the episode. This is a chunk. This is absolutely
whatever
a chunk.
that riffing we did at the beginning was. We made some jokes that cold opened. This is the episode. We should actually just at the very end of this record the opening. And then just swap it back in.
I said semi-jokingly at some point over the Psychic Dolphin Garage, so I think we're covered.
You said it like four times. We absolutely got this. At some point when you say it, I'll cut in the opening that we record.
I love to riff. I live only to riff.
So yeah, that was thank you, Dennis, for your insight as to what drugs this rural gay is on.
Yeah, it's meth.
I think in favor of the meth theory, there are only 2 pictures of this guy anywhere on the internet.
That rules.
I'm going to drop you a picture in 1 sec. I
really hope I could find out, because if he's on Scruff, I could find out for sure if he's on meth. What is his name?
Yeah, Michael. Yeah.
Michael Soetert. Soetaert.
That's a hell of a name.
At Soetert Michael on Twitter.
I'm looking at Topeka. Let's see.
This is like just further, you know, fucking hardens my belief that people who have LinkedIn vibes should not be allowed on the rest of the internet.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's your Twitter banner. Look at that face. That's a meth face. Or Adderall?
No, he looks like he's on steroids though.
That would also make sense.
Yeah.
I mean, at a certain age, like if you're gay and like you step into a gym, you are like hit with ads for steroids.
It's unclear what this guy actually looks like from the neck down. Because like there are other. It's
all neck. It's all neck actually.
Well, there are other mics on the internet, but like in this video, you'll see it's just Mike being represented by a Bitmoji or whatever.
Yeah. Does he not even have like a video? Any video of him?
I mean, here it is. He's the people's candidate. That's why we bombed. We bombed his thing. Look, he's got like a shaved baby, 10 seconds into the video, shaved baby, Bitmoji, 3D, whatever.
Ugh, I hate those. That's so tacky.
I might make that the show art, specifically.
Oh, that's so tacky. I would take 100 fucking like times over the like shitty like corporate Memphis art style over this fucking like talking Tom ass fucking 3D animation. This sucks.
Well, also I love the love is love thing is a blue, like, because he like blue screened it in instead of like using like, just a PNG.
Oh yeah,
so the blue is missing.
Wow.
Oh wow, you're right.
He does the chroma. You forgot about the chroma.
Why would you chroma key in a rainbow? That's not the tool for that.
Like, you could just
Rainbow
put a
Goblin
PNG.
strike again.
I'm confident there's a Love is Love PNG out there that's free.
Not for Mike. Not for old Mike.
Oh my god, his website's so bad. Oh my god.
I gotta look at the website.
It auto-plays a video. Oh no, okay, I'm looking at him. He's not on steroids, but he is on meth.
Yeah? So the video on the website confirms meth.
Oh.
Yeah, just because he's like...
there's a song. It's auto-playing a song.
Fit enough?
It's a song?
Yeah, I like Mike.
I'll put that in. I like Mike.
God.
Oh my god.
Oh,
the whole website is video. Fuck.
Like Mike.
His face is so big.
He was
likes Mike for Washington. Oh,
no, but look, he's like us. He's a friend of Marianne of Orb Mom.
Yeah, he did mention Marianne a number of times and how like she's a hero of his. Oh no, on his website.
Pro-life.
A GIF. It says deep Kansas roots, deeper prairie roots. It's just flashing between things next to his face. Love is love, chroma keyed in weird. Keep Kansas free and Missouri UN compromised. Department We the People, Department of Peace. I like Mike. Hold on, it's gonna get worse. Register to vote. Go back to the beginning. Vote with a finger menacingly pointing at you. Michael Suter is a candidate for United States Senate, is not an election official. I'm Michael Suter, a candidate for the U.S. Senate. I've approved this message, paid for and authorized by Michael Suter for Senate, F.D. Whitfield Treasurer. Oh, I forgot. F.D. Whitfield Treasurer. Oh, it's starting over. Hold on. Oh, Michael Suter in...
Are you going to play the Mike song?
Hold on, it's coming. No, hold on. The People's Candidate.
Oh, that's great.
For the people. Ready to serve. Wait for it. I don't know what FOP is. Oh, Mike backs and supports the police and cop associations. Oh, here's a thin blue line flag. Angry? Get even vote. Question mark.
Angry?
What?
Get even vote?
What?
Get even vote.
Get even vote?
Oh, by the way, he's a Republican.
Well, he's a
Republican in practice.
He's running as a Democrat, though, because he's realized what actually Dennis and I said on the recording we did yesterday, which is if Republicans just started, if these weird centrist Republicans started running as Democrats, they would fit right in, and he's figured that out.
They absolutely would. Yeah.
He's actually already
done what Jeb is going to do in 2024.
Yes, that's actually
what we joked about.
That's the joke we made yesterday.
Oh my goodness.
That's exactly what we said. Yes, we are all on the same page.
It's almost like we have a podcast together or something.
Oh, also, this dumb bitch was a write-in candidate in 2020.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to bring up.
Nothing.
He's already lost one election. See, here's the thing is, and he talked about this a while. He was mad about this. Is like, so he was a write-in candidate who got 0 votes, and everyone was clowning on him on Twitter for not even voting for himself. But then he explained that actually he had like 3,000 write-in votes, and the state vote, whatever person is the name is, I can't remember right now, Secretary of State or whoever who runs the vote shit, like threw out all of his write-in votes because they said they didn't count because his paperwork was wrong in some way or another. And he was mad. He kept calling them like
awesome.
The garbage Kansas whatever department that is, and the junkyard dogs who wouldn't respect the people who voted for me. And
that's
like
so great. Good for him.
Yeah, he was real mad about that. And honestly, like I didn't really speak up for much of any of this because I'm just like, whatever. I don't want to.
Yeah, you're here for the show.
You're
eating your peanuts.
Yeah. But there was a part of me that wants to jump on and be like, Mike, as someone who's also filed a lot of paperwork regarding running for office, yeah, the state does screw you and steal your money. The local Democratic Party still owes me $100, and they're not going to give it to me, and I'm done. I don't care anymore. And that's that. It's like he's not wrong about that shit. He's just...
I'm still trying to see if I could find him on Grindr. He's in a place called Ottawa.
That Kansas. Sounds familiar, yes. Oh yeah, 'cause I think someone from Canada might have jumped on from Ottawa, and he made some sort of like, I don't need any of this Quebecois shit joke, and I don't know what it meant because
That's
he's on drugs.
yeah,
I guess
that's a different state or province.
Yeah. So I want you to know the reason I jumped into this space with all this shit going on is because, I mean, one, it was a bunch of people I like on Twitter in there, in the absolute space. Like, why are they in this space? That doesn't make sense. Point is, at the very early on, the thing that hooked me in was when, I wish I had a clip of this on hand. If I get one, I'll put it in. When he said something along the lines of, I hope this space goes well. I had this discussion earlier with like 200 Ethiopian expats, and oh my god, I had to block most of them. I hope that doesn't happen again, and just moved on. And we were all like, no, tell us about that. What does that mean? What does it mean you had to block 200 Ethiopian expats because a conversation you had earlier went poorly?
Maybe they're in the same same kind of, basket as like Russian trolls, right?
I guess. Like, everyone appears to be Russian trolls or someone else.
Everyone's either Russian, Chinese, or Ethiopian. Those are the three genders. Sorry, SJWs.
Honestly, with the weird kind of like, grandpa stuff, because this guy's like, he says he's almost 60. Like, I don't know how old he is, but he's saying he's almost 60, so.
He looks fucked up. I'll say that much.
Yeah, and I just want you to know, every question we asked him, he had no answer for. Like, he had some prepared talking points, and he was not very good at this shit. But, like, he has no idea what he's doing, and he could not answer complex questions. And I think the point at which, like, we started to go, like...
thing, yeah.
Yeah, well, and also we all, I think, began to turn on a little bit when someone finally brought up the North Korea question, and put it to him, like, well, what would you do about North Korea, or as its name truly is, the Democratic People's Republic of Korea? What would you do in this situation regarding diplomacy and respect of sovereignty and things like that? And his answer was, I don't want to get involved in another forever war.
Okay.
But that Kim is really doing some shit that's not okay. And went from there, and then around that point, like, literally fucking as soon as someone said, what do you think of the sovereignty of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, the Twitter space began to crash.
How convenient.
I know, it kept happening.
Yeah, what do you think about the farmers' strikes in India? Yeah.
That was the most, like, wow, is Twitter actually fucking with this moment I've ever had? Because mostly I'm just going to treat it as like, oh my god, this is not worth anyone's time to actually do that shit.
There are definitely some CIA guys right now doing their CIA podcast that they do just for other CIA guys of this exact same Twitter space interaction. But every time, but they decide, we're going to hit the max headroom button every time they, like, bring up anything of substance.
Yeah. It was fucking weird. It was just, so it started futzing in and out, but Mike was able to get that out before, like, it just crashed and he was gone, at which point everyone just started screaming about, like, how awful of an answer that was, and how just noting to, I believe it was able to be noted to Mike before everything crashed, that, like, you keep calling him Kim like that's his first name. That's not how that works. Like, because he was calling Kim, but I believe he was not differentiating between any of the given Kims.
Any of the Kims.
Are we sure? Well, I mean, that's not uncommon in a lot of, like, just kind of...
Oh, I know.
I mean, I'll say it, like, Western chauvinist style fucking...
Oh, I know. Well, that was the point, is they were trying to call him a Western chauvinist because things were futzing out and they were just starting to dunk on him as he faded away.
I think the funnier answer, though, is, are we sure he wasn't talking about Kim Kardashian?
I don't want to get into another forever war, but I do think we need to stop the advances of the Kardashians against our republic.
Pete Davidson can't keep getting away with this.
No more will the Jenners or the Kardashians get away with their saber rattling against our constitutional republic.
God, if only Kanye runs in 2024. Running mate right here.
I'm very, very sad to report that I could not find him on any apps.
That doesn't surprise me. He barely understood Twitter. He specifically handed the space off to a bunch of fucking tankies because they were kind of being nice to him, and he's like, he was explicitly saying, I'm so happy y'all know how this works and y'all can help facilitate this, because I was a little worried when I got on here.
Yeah, this is somebody's grandma.
This is a grandpa. And he specifically said that.
Well, okay.
like no, this dude, you won't find him on any like hookup apps because he like fucking cruises by fucking dialing the numbers in bathroom stalls that say for a good time call 555 1312. All right.
Oh my god. Oh yeah. So
that's Mike.
That's my
yeah. So that's
when are we...
what I've been doing for the last 12 hours.
Well, that's
God
good.
Damn. That's what Mike's been doing for the past
That's what Mike's been
hours.
doing. Yeah, I don't like, as you said, I do not think Mike slept.
Yeah.
And by this morning, the incoherent dip, the incoherency trend continued such that it did not suggest there was ever a sleep bump in there.
Gotta love a good
I'm
sleep
telling
bump.
you, it's because he couldn't. Chemically, he could not.
Yeah. No, that makes perfect sense.
A sleep bump is when, for the 2 seconds where he tilted back in his chair, his assistant took a key straight to his nose to keep him going.
Oh, I have to tell you one last thing.
Please give us a little Mike epilogue.
A little Mike epilogue. There were a number of moments as people started to turn on him as irreconcilably wrong about everything, but I think one of them was Asa very politely explained the how in the Philippines there are two different governments. There is the Communist Party of the Philippines, and there is the Duterte regime, and they are fighting an ongoing civil war with each other for control, and it just explained some of the goings on there. And Mike did not appear to really understand a lot of this, because I think just a lot of the words that commies use, Mike just doesn't know. Or
does Mike know where the Philippines is? Let's start there.
Yes, because the treasurer of his campaign, that Whitfield person, he immediately jumped in afterward, demonstrating complete lack of understanding about how, oh, the Philippines, yeah, you know, my treasurer has a bunch of family in the Philippines, and like their family is like fucking tight with some, like, I believe he said Philippine elites were his exact words.
That's
tight with the Philippine elites. He may have mentioned government folks. Literally, he had the people's struggle explained to him in the Philippines, and his response was some sort of drug-addled, whoa, my treasurer is fucking tight with the upper class and the ruling class in the Philippines. Hell yeah, Philippines. And that was, I think that was a point for a lot of people where they're like, Jesus, fuck, what?
Yeah, like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh boy.
That was sort of my turning point, is like, this guy not only isn't going to get anything going on, not only can he not answer these questions or make proper foreign policy decisions, and, you know, all the respect in the world for everyone who went into a prospective U.S. Senate candidates thing, just immediately started asking difficult foreign policy questions, because honestly, that's really the only thing you need to be asking a Senate candidate, because their only purpose is to block domestic policy from happening and approve foreign policy that's just ghoulish.
Right.
Yeah.
If you live in Kansas and you're listening, don't vote for Mike Suter.
Don't,
or, you know what?
Don't write
vote
in
for Mike Suter. It's fine if you do. He will not win. We have him saying, I can own all y'all motherfuckers 100 years ago to a room filled with black communists. Like, his campaign is over.
Cool, yeah.
Well, also, he couldn't do that 100 years ago.
That's a good point.
Yeah, 100 years ago is 1920. Oh. Hey,
Like,
also another good reason not to vote for him. His name's hard to spell. Like a write-in candidacy for him. I mean, that's doomed from the start. You gotta
oh my
change
God,
your
do you
name,
think
buddy.
the reason that they all got thrown out was because nobody spelled it right?
I mean, look, if I ever run for office, like, I'm not running, you know, under my last name, because, like, shit, that's impossible to spell. It's not a long name, but people fuck it up.
Well, that's why Mitt Romney just goes by Mitt.
Yeah.
Right.
Because what the fuck is a Romney? Bush, you know, Mitt, fucking Joe, Irish Joe.
Jeb.
Running for Congress as Marge Simpson to make it easy.
There you go. No, run for Congress as Mickey Mouse.
Mr. X.
Yeah.
Mr. X.
Mickey Mouse and Bugs Bunny apparently get a lot of votes every year.
That's true. I should run as Jesus.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah, Jesus.
I'm sure that'll be
gets a lot of votes.
What if I won, though? What if I won and then had to accidentally, like, serve my entire term as Jesus Christ, even though it's not my name and I don't care?
This is some My Name is Earl shit.
Yeah. Do y'all want to do another story?
No.
Okay.
Well, I think it's about time we wrap this fucking show up, huh? All right. Well, you know who's gonna be in our corner when there's no one else there, and it's none other than Mike Sherbert, whatever the fuck his name is. All right, and him and his Tina, and he's gonna be here for us. And I can't wait.
He's gonna be here for Tina.
He's gonna be here for Tina. Thank you so much for listening. Especially to our patrons: Olive, Julian, Kira, Julia, Dylan, Tim, Jen, the conduit of the existential dread of fatherhood itself, Scott, Lizzie, Eli, Knightley, the Warlock, Phosphorus, Broobs, Cody, Jorge, Jack, the brilliant Dr. Fly, Samantha, Alex, Rufus, not a mole rat, Tyler, Caleb, Malwin, and Sophia. As well as a few other folks. We've started updating this monthly just so, we can keep things like actually accurate to the list and all that shit. So yeah, we will.
We see you. We hear you.
Get you in the loop as soon as And if you didn't hear your name, but you're still a listener, even you're cool. Thank you for listening. And if you want to become a patron, you can on Patreon.
Yep.
Y'all want to go into more detail about that?
No, just check the link below. You get.
I'm in silly mode, so I apologize.
No, I mean. With the Patreon, you get our bonus episodes. You get access to some bonus or patron exclusive stuff. You get our Dolphins and Garages. That's our D&D podcast a month earlier than everyone else.
Because you're special.
But if you can't afford a Patreon subscription, that's totally fine. If your podcast app of choice has a place where you can leave a comment and rating, just do that. That's free.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And also just let us know. We can, if you're really that down bad for Patreon episodes, we can hook you up.
Just hit us up on Twitter. It's no big deal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, folks. That's it for us.
Alrighty.
And thanks to Loyalty Freak Music, Rosa Zerdy, for all the music that you provided. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Now time to fucking rock out.
Bye.
Right.
Rock out with our sober out. I don't know.
Bye.
I was given up for adoption at birth. And my birth mother, when I met her, told me a very interesting story. And the story was that she had specified specifically that I would be adopted by a Roman Catholic family. She had the insight, the wisdom, the clarity to somehow navigate this and find a loving home. It's not that I chose to be pro-life. Life chose me.
I am Michael Sudart, and I have approved this message.